Hello, friends. So, my name is Dr. Ashish Goyal, and today we will be discussing a serological approach to viral hepatitis. I'm sure that many of you would have found yourself thoroughly and utterly confused when you were trying to figure out the different serological markers available to diagnose viral hepatitis. So, in the next 20 minutes, we are going to quickly try and simplify the serological approach to viral hepatitis. So let's first begin with the clinical course of hepatitis A virus. It's the simplest, no rocket science. The first to appear is the fecal shedding of the hepatitis A virus. If you look at this red curve here, you will realize that this is how the fecal shedding begins. Fair enough. So in the clinical course of hepatitis A virus, that's how the hepatitis A virus clinical course pans out. So within about 2 weeks of infection, the person starts shedding the virus in the feces, and you have fecal hepatitis A virus antigen positive. This is even before the phase of jaundice has set in here. So if you see the jaundice in the rise in ALT is happening practically at the time of about 4 weeks here, but the fecal HAV shedding starts even before that time in hepatitis A virus. By the time we are into the 4th week, we see the IgM anti-hepatitis A virus antibody begins to appear, and then it settles down and disappears by 12th or 13th week or so. Whereas the anti-HAV IgG type of antibody starts appearing at the same time as IgM, but then it continues to rise over time. And this is weeks of exposure on the bottom, and that's how the progression takes place in hepatitis A virus. So if you are looking at a patient at about 4 weeks of infection, the jaundice may still not have appeared, ALT may still not have risen, and you will still have fecal hepatitis A virus shedding. Whereas if you were looking at this same patient after the onset of jaundice, maybe at some point of time here, then the virus shedding has already ended or practically about to end in the feces, whereas he's symptomatic with jaundice and a rise in ALT. But this time you might find IgM antibodies in the sera of the patient if you examine them. HIV is simple. Hepatitis A virus serology, there is nothing to bother about much in that. And probably nobody will ask you about the hepatitis A virus serology also. Coming to hepatitis B virus, if we talk about the serological markers one by one, the first marker to appear is the hepatitis B surface antigen. So S stands for surface, and that's the first marker to appear, which appears within 1 to 12 weeks of the infection. Remember, appears within 1 to 12 weeks of infection. It precedes, that means it comes before the ALT and AST का rise. ALT और AST बढ़ेंगे बाद में, hepatitis B surface antigen will become positive in the serum earlier. It precedes the clinical symptoms by 2 to 6 weeks. So jaundice आने के कम से कम 2 से 6 हफ्ते पहले हमें हेपेटाइटिस बी सरफेस एंटीजन पॉजिटिव मिलना शुरू हो जाएगा. It remains detectable during the entire icteric phase, यानी कि जब तक jaundice रहेगा मरीज को, तब तक हेपेटाइटिस बी सरफेस एंटीजन पॉजिटिव रहेगा. And it becomes 1 to 2 months after the jaundice, it becomes undetectable. So जब jaundice खत्म हो जाएगा, उसके 1 या 2 महीने के बाद, you'll find that the HBsAg will disappear. It rarely persists beyond 6 months. So if these are clear, then let's see what happens. After hepatitis B surface antigen disappears by 6 months, we start getting hepatitis B surface antigen antibodies, anti-HBs antibodies, and they remain detectable indefinitely thereafter. Lifelong anti-hepatitis B surface antigen antibodies रहती हैं, and anti-HBs antibodies are protective antibodies. The occurrence of anti-HBs antibodies in the serum indicates that the person has recovered and he is immune to further hepatitis B infection. Please remember this. First marker, HBsAg, and once anti-HBs antibodies have appeared in the serum, that means the person is safe and immune. Let's see. If this is the course of the virus, on the x-axis, we are having time from 0 to 100 weeks after the appearance of infection. If infection has occurred at time 0, then how are the clinical markers appearing? Let's say if this is the point of infection, this is where the infection has occurred. Now, jaundice appears after about 6 to 8 weeks of infection. This is the point of time when jaundice will appear, and by the 14th week, jaundice will disappear. In between, you may have deep or severe jaundice or mild jaundice, but jaundice starts by 8th week and then disappears by 14th week of the illness. What happens to ALT, AST? That's SGPT and SGOT. SGPT and SGOT start rising even before jaundice occurs. So by 6th week, the ALT and AST have started rising and they settle down here by about the 20th week. So between 6th and 20th week, you find ALT and AST are high. What happens to HBs antigen? So you see the rise of HBs antigen. It starts in about the 4th week, and by the 24th week मतलब 6 महीने और 4th week मतलब 1 महीना. So starting from the 1st month to about the 6th month, we have HBs antigen, which is detectable in the serum. By 6th month, the HBs antigen is negative, and now we start getting the anti-HBs antibodies. So these are the anti-HBs antibodies which start to rise further. So I hope you are clear about HBs antigen and anti-HBs antibodies. At this time, the person is infected, whereas at this time, when the anti-HBs antibodies have started appearing, the person has recovered and become immune to hepatitis B. Let's see the next markers. So the next important marker is HBC antigen or the core antigen, which is not detectable. ये हम टेस्ट करते ही नहीं हैं. HB core antigen is not detected. But what is detected is the anti-HBC antibody. That is the anti-HB core antibody. This is readily found within 1 to 2 weeks after appearance of HBsAg. So that means if we go to this, if HBs antigen was appearing here, we practically would see somewhere here the HB core antibody would start appearing, and it precedes anti-HBs antibody by several weeks. So between disappearance of HBs antigen and appearance of anti-HBs antibody, this may be the only detectable marker. Please remember, this is also an MCQ question which you will often get asked. This period is called the window period, which is the only detectable marker in the window period. That is when HBs antigen तो चला गया है और एंटी-HBs एंटीबॉडीज अभी तक आई नहीं है. तो इस पीरियड में the only marker that you will find will be anti-hepatitis B core antibodies. They could be of IgM type in acute phase and IgG type in the later phases. So let's see what happens again in this. This is the previous graph. This is again the same timeline. We have 0 to 100 weeks. First, we said the jaundice will appear between the 8th week to the 14th week. Then we have ALT, which appears usually from the 4th week, 6th week onwards, continues up till the 20th week, after which it settles down. Then we said the HBs antigen starts rising in the 4th week and comes to settle down by the 24th week, after which we have the rise in the anti-HBs antibodies. Now, what we just said, how do the anti-HB core antibodies behave? They start appearing about 2 weeks after the appearance of hepatitis B surface antigen and then persist in the blood for indefinite period of time. Important thing to remember here again is in the early phase, these are IgM type of antibodies, whereas later these become the IgG type of antibodies. So I hope till now you were with me. Hepatitis B surface antigen, hepatitis B surface antigen के लिए antibodies and anti-hepatitis B core antibodies. You were clear about their formation and disappearance in the serum. So next, let's go to the next marker. The next important marker is hepatitis B E antigen. Now, E stands for envelope or envelope, however you might want to pronounce it. So 3 markers we have talked about: S, surface, uske baad E, envelope, and C, core antigen. So what happens to the hepatitis B E or the envelope antigen? It appears concurrently with or shortly after HPS AG. तो जैसे ही सरफेस एंटीजन आता है वैसे ही हेपेटाइटिस बी ई एंटीजन भी साथ में आ जाता है. It coincides with high levels of replication. Now this is another MCQ question that you will be often asked in your NEET exams and your MLE exams, that if E antigen is present, it indicates replication. दोनों तरीके से ये सवाल पूछा जाता है कि if the idea is to identify replication, which marker is to be seen? That is hepatitis E antigen. And if hepatitis B E antigen is present, what does it signify? It signifies that the virus is replicating actively. And if the virus is replicating actively, this also means that the person is highly infectious. He can spread the viral illness. It indicates the presence of circulating virions. Now, if the HBV infection is self-limited, अगर अपने आप वो ठीक होने वाला है, then HBE antigen will disappear. This disappearance coincides after E antigen disappear हो जाता है. But this disappearance happens before the disappearance of HBsAg. तो HBE antigen HBs antigen के पहले सीरम से चले जाता है. Now anti-HBe now becomes detectable in the serum, and when anti-HBe antibodies appear, this implies that there is no replication and there is low infectivity of the patient. Please remember, when HBe antibodies आती हैं, the person has got low infectivity, और जब HBe antigen आता है, then we have a high infectivity phase. Again, let's see what happens on the graph. So this is what the graph we had seen earlier. And this is how the hepatitis B E antigen is appearing. the hepatitis B surface antigen we had seen. This was the hepatitis B antibodies against the surface antigen. These were anti-HBe antibodies. And now this is the hepatitis B E antigen. Again, if you remember, it coincides with the appearance of hepatitis B surface antigen. It disappears before the peak, after the peak of ALT AST, which is this. So ALT AST ka peak is somewhere here. After the peak has occurred, then the hepatitis B E antigen will disappear, and this disappearance is before the disappearance of the hepatitis B surface antigen. And after hepatitis B surface antigen has disappeared and after HBe antigen has disappeared, we see the appearance of anti-HBe antibodies. So this light pale green color is detecting the hepatitis B E antigen against antibodies. And this period determines that there is low infectivity and there is low viral replication. However, अगर इस समय पर हमने कहा था कि अगर हम यहाँ पर उस मरीज को देखेंगे तो यहाँ पर हमें हो सकता है ये ना मिले, क्योंकि हेपेटाइटिस बी सरफेस एंटीजन चला गया है। हेपेटाइटिस बी सरफेस एंटीजन के अगेंस्ट HBs एंटीबॉडीज आई ही नहीं है। The only thing that we find is the anti-HBe antibodies, which are of IgG type, and we may find anti-HBe antibodies also at this point of time. Again, looking at the same course, we start with jaundice and ALT appear late. Hepatitis B surface antigen पहले आ जाता है, उसके बाद anti-HB कोर एंटीबॉडीज आ जाती हैं जो IgM वैरायटी की होती हैं, and then we have IgG type of anti-HBc antibodies and anti-HBs antibodies also start appearing. And that's how the anti-HBe antibodies appear and HBe antigen appears. I hope we are clear about the hepatitis B virus. If you find the patient, that is when the patient will come to you when he has developed jaundice. By probably 8th week of actively being exposed to the infection, he will start having this jaundice when he will come to you. At this time, you will find the ALT AST will be high. You will find hepatitis B surface antigen will be positive. At this point of time, you should also find anti-HBc antibodies of the IgM type in his blood, and you should also find HBe antigen. So all these are features of acute or recent hepatitis B infection. You will get this question in one or the different ways in one or the other format in your exams. Acute phase में acute infection के बाद क्या होता है? So you would remember HBs antigen will be present, which will indicate infection. IgM type of anti-HB core antibodies will be present. HBe antigen will be present, ALT will be raised, and jaundice will be visible. However, in the later phases, once the person has recovered, anti-HBs has appeared, hepatitis B surface antigen will be negative now. If you're looking at the patient, let's say around 40 weeks, we'll find HBs antibodies are present, anti-HB core antibodies are also present, and anti-HBe antibodies are also present at this point of time. However, no antigens should be seen here. This is as far as acute hepatitis B is concerned. This is how it behaves. Let's look at what happens in chronic hepatitis B. So if you remember, we said that the hepatitis B surface antigen starts appearing by the 2nd week and then disappears by the 24th week of infection. Now, please notice here the timeline is in months. So this is in months. This is not in weeks. So in the previous slide, it was weeks. In this timeline is months. So if we talk about in months, Somewhere here, the hepatitis B surface antigen should become positive, and by the 6th month, it should become negative, and this should be followed by anti-HBs antibodies. Let's see what's happening. HBs antigen becomes positive, but in case of chronic hepatitis B, it does not disappear by 6th week or 6th month. It was supposed to have come down here, but it has not come down in the 6th month. It continues to remain in the serum. It continues to remain high for months together. 120 months is practically 10 years. So as we said, hepatitis B surface antigen, which had appeared in the serum, continues beyond 6 months and does not disappear as it was supposed to disappear at the 6th month. It continues to be there in blood for a longer period of time. What happens to the anti-HB core antibodies? Now they behave normally, and the anti-HB core antibodies appear at their own scheduled time, and then they would disappear when they would not disappear, they would stay for a rest of the person's life. What happens to the HBV DNA? If we look at the HBV DNA, it continues to exist as a marker in the serum of the individual right from end of month 1 and continues till about the replicative phase of the virus is proceeding. What happens to HBe antigen? Now, HBe antigen also does not disappear, but continues to be in the blood till a long period of time in the chronic phase. And later, HBe antibodies will now become visible, and then they will continue to stay in the blood, in the serum. What happens to ALT? It rises for the initial few months, and then it settles down by 6th month. However, we see another rise of the ALT and AST at the time when seroconversion is happening. So what is seroconversion? We say seroconversion when the HBe antigen is converting into anti-HBe antibody. And here the HBs antigen starts reducing in its quantity, or it's less seen. So that's when we get a rise in the ALT-AST or the SGPTOT. So this transamnesia or transamnitis, that's increase in ALT and AST, transamnitis coincides with the seroconversion of HBe antigen into anti-HBe antibody that is happening here. So if we see everything that is happening, so that's how the progression happens. And if you want to remember this, the only best way to remember it is by deciphering it yourself rather than trying to remember each permutation and combination. If you remember these graphs of hepatitis B in acute viral hepatitis and in chronic viral hepatitis, then understanding the positive and negative combinations becomes much easier. Again, if you look at the viral markers, this is how it behaves in case of hepatitis B, what we saw in the previous graph. So if you're looking at this patient within the, let's say, first 6 months, at the 5th month probably, you will find ALT-AST is raised, you will find HBe antigen is positive, you will find HBV DNA is present, you would find hepatitis B surface antigen is also present, and either HB core antibodies of IgM type or IgG type will be present. These are the IgG type of antibodies here, and these are the IgM type of antibodies here. Whereas if you're looking, let's say, at about 48 to 50 weeks at this time, you will find a similar pattern as the beginning. The only difference is you will not find IgM type of anti-HBC, but you will find only IgG type of anti-HB core antibodies, and you will find ALT-AST high. Replication is being shown by HBe antigen and HBV DNA is also present. So this is a phase of chronic hepatitis, which is also replicative and is also infectious. Whereas if you are looking at this patient here, at this time, everything would be the same, except there is no HBV DNA which is present. And also the hepatitis B E antigen has become anti-HBe antibodies. And at this point of time, there is no replication which is happening, and the person will not transmit disease also. So coming to hepatitis C virus, again, this is another not difficult virus. It is simple to understand. ALT, AST really doesn't contribute much in the diagnostic facility because oscillations keep happening during the course of illness. Hepatitis C has got a propensity to become chronic in at least 40 to 50% patients who get afflicted with hepatitis C virus. The hepatitis C virus RNA remains positive throughout, and anti-HCV antibodies also remain positive throughout. So when we are testing, we first test the anti-HCV antibodies, and if these are positive, then we check for the HCV RNA. So for an undergraduate level, this is a simple diagnostic approach that you can remember. If anti-HAV IgM type of anti-HAV is present, but none of the other B and C markers are positive, obviously, it is an acute anti-HAV infection. If A is negative, hepatitis B surface antigen is positive, and hepatitis B core antibody of IgM type is positive, then you say the person has had an acute hepatitis B virus infection. You can start thinking of it from the reverse direction. If you remember what happened in acute hepatitis B virus infection, obviously the hepatitis B surface antigen has to be positive, and the HBC or the anti-HBC core antibodies have to be of the IgM type. अगर थोड़ी देर में देखेंगे, so this will disappear and these will become IgG type of antibodies. Now, अगर A भी positive है, hepatitis B surface antigen भी positive है, और IgM type के HB core antibodies भी positive हैं, so then we say the person has an acute hepatitis A as well as a hepatitis B virus infection. If we find that only HBs antigen is positive, but we don't find HBC antibodies of IgM type, what we will otherwise find? We should find G type of antibodies. But if HBs antigen is remaining positive with IgG type of anti-HB core antibodies, then the person has chronic hepatitis B virus infection. And if all these are negative and only HCV is positive, then obviously the person has an acute HCV infection. So friends, with this, we come to an end of today's session. And I hope that you would have been able to clear some of your concepts on the serological approach to viral hepatitis. Thanks for stopping by.